a hobo, a homeless guy. Torrevieja, that's a town on the southeast coast of Spain. Can I go? I got my doggy here, causing grief as always. I don't know if you can see that from there. Okay, no barking. Okay. Good afternoon, folks. A couple of you arriving. Delta Mike, that's me. Down and out in Torrevieja. Down and out as in a tramp. Torrevieja, town on the southeast coast of Spain. And my dog is playing up with me. Hey, babe. Thank you for hitting the like button. Always appreciated. See whether I can get this angle right. At my shorn self, Karen. Tina girl. I think I might have just been a minute or so late coming live. Just as I was sitting down, I kicked the table and let me show you the devastation that I caused. And this time it was me. This is coffee with hot chocolate. And I kicked the table and caused maximum spillage. Well, short of knocking the whole... Quick drink. Cheers to you guys, especially the subscribers. Oh, because the bottom's wet, as I tipped it up, I got a drip. I got coffee and hot chocolate down on my, we'll say thigh. It wasn't quite. Okay, folks, as I said, Karen's been around. She's been over for the last week or so. Goes home very soon. And she managed to fit me in for a quick beard trim and haircut. That'll get me through to the new year. It's from a guy who's just gone, what, 3 years without a haircut. Okay. Now, if you look in the description to this video, if I move away from this app, we crash out and the stream ends, and YouTube automatically private it so I can't get back in quick. If somebody can look in the description and just shout me whatever's next on the list. But we're starting with Karen's visit and a few things around, as well as coming and doing my hair. She brought some dog food for Tina and dog treats. Oh no, Tina, dog treats. Yeah, she knows that word. But as well as bringing things for Tina, Karen brought a few things for me. I'm not going to list them, mainly because I only had a quick look. I can't even tell you what's there. But there's a goodly selection of some things that she bought specifically for me: coffee, sugar, milk, and some things that because she's leaving shortly, some things that she had left over. Also though, she brought me a couple of presents. She brought me my Christmas present. Got no idea what it is. And also she's brought me a birthday present. Because, as I think I mentioned last week, I've got a birthday coming up this Wednesday. Possibly going to do a live stream on the Wednesday. Maybe more than one. I don't know yet. We'll see. 5 on Wednesday. No. She's celebrating my birthday already. There's a few days yet, darling. Wednesday. So yeah, we got that coming up. So Christmas presents and birthday presents delivered. So thank you, Karen. And I'm sorry I'm not in a position to reciprocate with Christmas presents back. Maybe next year, if I'm lucky. It's been a week. And I released a video. And it's one that's been in the works for a little while. It was a potato and celery soup video. And that did quite well. I think it got off to a slow start, but it did okay in the end. I think we're somewhere up around... Thank you. The numbers at the time that I was looking. So I was quite happy. The week got off to a good start with Tina. Sit down and shush. Sit down and quiet. Leave the people alone. So yeah, that video got off because I was editing overnight or early morning. I got off to a good start that day, and then, as I mentioned last week, so that was my next job Monday morning. I picked up the top box and carried it outside of the tent, and there was wriggling inside. So when I put it down, I lifted the little kind of hardboard top off the wood, off the box, off the drawer, and I looked inside and I couldn't see anything. So I started to just shuffle a few things around, and they're so bloody quick, they're so fast. So something darted around from one corner of the box to the other, and so I started to lift things out, and the next thing I know, there's a thud on top of my foot, and something scurries off, basically under the tent. Tina, will you stop? So I don't know if you've ever been up close and personal with a mouse. They're tiny, they're fast, but they're very dense, they're very muscular. They don't have a lot of fat on them. They're kind of chunky so I felt this thud on the top of my foot, and the bugger scampered away. But I knew then that I'd kind of more or less, I was on the right path to solving my problem. It was that one drawer that they'd got into. So I sorted through what was in that drawer. Some things were in plastic containers and so were safe. Other things were in cardboard boxes but just hadn't been touched. And other things were decimated and spread all over the place. There was one little pack of, a sachet of immensely. And there was one thing of, I think it was a corn flour that they'd been in, and that was all over the place. And the drawer was full of their droppings, their feces. Oops. So I brought that out, solved that, but this little mouse scurried away under the tent, and I think he probably got back in later. That's another story. But for a couple of days after, I was hearing scurrying around, bold or desperate, I think. They were visible on top of bags, going over things and into things. They were scrambling, looking for their lost food. Go. I think it was the next morning. One of the traps went off. And it was one of the ones I couldn't see. I couldn't see the trap. And when I looked, there was a mouse caught by the leg. I might have my days mixed up here. And there's so many mice. The title of the video, this one, I didn't know what else to put, but you know, I am become death, destroyer of mice. I've lost count of how many mice I've killed this week. It's somewhere between 4 and 6, I think. And they haven't all been clean kills, unfortunately. I've said before, I'm not happy about killing them. But I can't be lying there with them running around on my bedside cabinet alongside my bed. Or discovering that they've actually been on my bed. There's a limit, you know? They've been trying to get in my food. And for the first time in 20 years or so, I was ill a few weeks ago. I don't know whether that's just a coincidence or not, but couldn't carry on, guys. Couldn't carry on. So this one mouse was caught by the leg, and this time I picked the trap up, put something under. I carried it outside across here, and I released him. I suspect he's probably going to die of shock or something with a badly broken leg, but he wasn't going to die in the tent there and then. He would have probably chewed his leg off to get away, and I wasn't going to stand there and watch that. Call me soft. I wasn't going to stand there and watch that. So I brought him, it was the middle of the night, I brought him out here and released him and kind of shooed him away in that direction. So that was that. Are we back? Hello, hello. That time I got told that the connection was dropped. Are we all here? I'll have a swig of my coffee while we wait and see if everyone arrives back. Answer yes or no in the chat if you're here. If I see any no's, I'll know that you're just taking the piss. Okay. Hope I wasn't gone for too long. So I was just saying about how I kicked this mouse out, and then the next morning I had my bedroom door open, and I was hearing little scratching noises out in the other part of the tent, the non-bedroom part. And then I saw a mouse run across from the doorway across towards my food, which meant there were two in there, because that wasn't the one that I'd been hearing. And I came out into the vestibule area, and the one mouse ran out, and another one I could hear inside one of my bags. This is not the best thing ever. I got a big rubber mallet for hammering in tent pegs. I took care of one. And even though I'd got him, I smacked him a second time because I didn't want any long lingering deaths. See the title of the video? I am become death. I don't like it, guys. It's not good for my mental health. But I can't have them running around in my food, or I mean, everything in that bag was sealed. I don't have very much that's out and about that can be, because of this. Everything's in plastic boxes or in glass jars or in Tupperware. But if I let them keep swarming me like this, it's just going to build, or it was just going to build and build. If you see one, there's probably 5. If you see 2, there's probably 10 nearby. So after killing this one, I retreated into my bedroom and closed the door. And as I've said before, it doesn't zip up anymore, so it's just nipped together and held with safety pins. And that means there's just this one entry point. There's a zip along the bottom. I think I've shown that in my video once. So there's just this one narrow entry point, and I put a mouse trap inside the tent just at that point. And I was lying on my bed, not being happy about my own actions killing the other mouse. And one stuck its head through. I didn't see it. First thing, I'm just reading stuff on probably on Twitter or whatever, X as it calls itself now. I was excreting my thoughts on X, and there was a sudden snap. And when I looked up, there's a mouse, not yet dead, but caught clean across the middle. And he kind of wriggled for 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds before he kind of slumped. Yeah. I left him for a minute to die, kind of undisturbed, in case he was still alive in any way. And then I just carried him out here and put him in the bin. I mean, what else am I going to do? I'm not digging holes and burying them. I'm not holding funeral services. But taking a life, even of a mouse, taking a life and then just casually throwing it in the bin? Don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So, like I said, somewhere between 4 and 6 mice dead this week. I declared victory last night. Certainly on the battle of the bedroom. I'm not lying there now listening and thinking that there's a mouse inside my bedroom. I'm not hearing rustling and scurrying about underneath my bed. Because this is what they do. They stick to the walls as much as they can. They'll go around the edge. So they won't often run across the middle of a room unless something happens. But yeah, I think I've had 2 days now, or 2 nights, where there's no no hint of activity with mice in the bedroom. So by getting rid of that food source and putting the traps in the right place and taking a bit of preemptive action, they're not in the bedroom. Occasionally I'll hear some scurrying or something going on in this outside part still, and I've moved all of the traps now, all except one. I've moved them all out of the bedroom and into the outer part of the vestibule part, the non-bedroom part of the tent. I keep the one and I put that inside the doorway at night, so if anything does come in, there's a greater than 50-50 chance it'll get snapped by the trap. I think if I'd not taken action, they would be swarming me now, like they were in, was it April or May? Before I started this channel, I had literal rats running through my bedroom, and they're braver. They would just run along. I was chasing with a fucking knife, not a kitchen knife either, like a woodman's knife or a bushcraft knife. So I had to do something. I'm pleased with the result. You know, I've declared victory on that half of the tent. I got to get more. I got to stop them. They keep probing. They keep trying to come into the other part of the tent, and I keep chasing them away. Maybe I should let them into the traps. I don't know. Maybe I should just position the traps better. At the minute, they're inside the central part, in amongst the supermarket bags of food. Maybe I should just put them to the edge where the mice come in. The fact that I'm hearing them means that they might not be mice. That's the other thing. Mice are almost silent unless they jump or fall or are running across plastic bags. The fact that I hear these things entering the tent might mean they're the bigger ones, and I've only got one trap suitable for those. I don't know. I've started to see cats. Cats have disappeared from this area for a little while, and I was walking Tina, I think it was yesterday morning, and there was a cat hanging about at the top end of this field. So that's a good sign. If the cat makes its way further into the field, rats and mice will be less likely to come messing about. The problem is Tina will chase a cat away. She works against me so many times. There used to be a couple of cats here, and I'd try and feed them the dog food, and because they're hungry, they would take it. But Tina wouldn't let them. She wouldn't even let me carry a little bowl of her dog food away from the camp to kind of meet the cats halfway. She would growl and bark and run around and try and get the cats, chase them away. I keep trying to explain to her that I want the cats here, but she's having none of it. She's having none of it. So that's been the story of the mice through the week. So going back to the beginning of the week, Monday was the cookery, the potato and celery soup. Tuesday's video, or videos, what was Tuesday? Was that the plane? Was that the seaplane? That might have been Wednesday. Somebody have a look in the description and give me a shout. Give me a prod of what I've got labelled for Tuesday. I released a video Monday, Tuesday, and a couple on Wednesday, I think. No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thursday was 2. I can't remember. The days are merging. But one day I was walking Tina midday-ish, or maybe early afternoon, and there was this plane buzzing around on the coast, and it came in and got close to the water and landed on the water, and then took off again. So in England, I think we call them boat planes. In America, certainly Canada, float planes. Because Linus from Linus Tech Tips, he started a sideline business, like a YouTube competitor, that he called Float Plane. His idea was that even if the business doesn't take off, it won't sink. So that was the genesis of his naming. So I know that Canada call them float planes. I don't know about America. I presume that you're closely allied or aligned with Canada. But anyway, yeah, I watched that for a while, it landing, and then it took off, and I wondered whether it was one of those firefighting planes that scoop water up. And it did a loop around behind some buildings, and as it came back around and over the coast, over the beach, or the coves, it dumped the water, it dropped the water. So then I knew that yes, it was one of those firefighting ones, and it came around and landed again, picked up some more water. That was quite a good video. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I'll maybe place links in the description after we're finished with the live stream. What else happened? What else happened this week? That sunset, that glorious sunset. I think that was it Wednesday night and I released it Thursday, or was it Tuesday and I released it Wednesday? I can't remember, guys. And I've only just written the notes up a bloody hour ago. But we suddenly, after commenting all summer that we don't really get sunsets, we suddenly had one, and it was the sky was red all around, not just over where the sun was setting, but the opposite side. Well, it wasn't red; it was shades of like lilac and purpley indigos and violets. It was really quite beautiful. So yeah, that was a. I'm trying to remember how well these videos did. I don't think the sunset one did that well. Is that one of the ones that's just stuck on around somewhere around 40 or 50 views? And I thought it was stunning. I thought that would have done much better. I thought people would have looked for that, or looked at that. I did a couple of thumbnails. I did a thumbnail that showed the setting sun on was that on the bottom half, and the opposite view, the view out to sea on the other half of the picture. Because it didn't do well, I've replaced that with one that's just the sunset, kind of the silhouetted skyline, the silhouette of the town, and then the bright orange sky above it. I was surprised that didn't do better. Surprised it didn't do better. But such is life. I can never predict these things. I make some videos thinking that it's something and nothing. Okay, Thursday. I released it Thursday. I think. And then when I was walking, after I'd released it, I was doing my morning walk. And Thursday was Thanksgiving in America. And I've got a lot to be thankful for. And a lot to thank other people for. Like all you guys and girls out there in YouTube land. And some of the people around me here, closer by, who bring me things in real life, real world. So that, like, the PayPal donations that people send, and people who come, like Karen, people who come and cut my hair and trim my beard, bring me food, bring me dog food, Christmas presents, birthday presents. I've got an awful lot to be thankful for. Like the guys who brought me the tent. And before that, the couple across the way here who brought me a big tarp when mine literally split in half and I was going to be sat in a rainstorm, I don't know, forever. They arrived the same day that my old tarp split clean down the middle, and they just arrived like, I don't know like what. Like the wise men bearing gifts, perfect gifts for the time. I've got an awful lot to be thankful for. I mean, my situation's not great. Don't get me wrong, I'm not glad that I'm in this position. I'm not thankful for Santander and their assholery. But I'm coming for them one day. But until then, I'm thankful for all the help that I receive. PayPal donations, people bringing me meals. I've been swamped this past week, people bringing me meals that they've cooked. Um, paellas and curries and chicken stews and things. And Karen today brought me a chicken curry. I'm spoilt. So much so that I've got food going off because I'm busy eating kind of ready-made meals, not cooking so much. Except for Wednesday when I cooked my big pan. I did a big pan of spicy bolognese. And as soon as I finished my first portion, hey, shush. As soon as I finished my first portion, a family arrived and brought me a big paella, seafood paella. So for the next 2 days, I was just trying to force food down. I sound like an ingrate. I sound like I'm complaining. That's not my intention. I'm not complaining. It's fantastic, and I'm thankful for all the help I get from everybody. It's just a shame sometimes that it means that I've got things going off. I've got bread buns going off at the minute, going mouldy, because I didn't get to them in time. I've got baguettes that are going stale, but I can rescue. Stale I can work with. Stale I can rescue. As if you watched me do the... Monday was the plane. Was it really? I get my days mixed up. It's a funny... Memory's a funny thing, you know. Memory's funny. This is why... What I should have done is bought a pen. I've got a pen. I should have bought a notepad. Then I could write these notes down, actually, you know, real world. So it's not on the phone. I guess that's my generation, isn't it? We're all about the technology, even when it works against us. So yeah, so feeling thankful on Thursday. I did the American Thanksgiving kind of tradition. Did a giving thanks for, you know, for the things that I feel thankful for, and for the people around me, the people that have helped. And I honestly thought that video would have done a little better. I'll tell you one thing. I walked away after filming that video. I walked away all emotional. As I was walking back to the camp here, I had tears coming down my face. And then I went and sat inside the tent. And again, maybe half an hour later, I'm not going to say I was weeping. I mean, I wasn't sobbing, but I was emotional. There was water in the eyes. So I think I like that tradition, that Thanksgiving thing. I might recommend that to people. Not wanting to steal or hog anything from it's not cultural appropriation. It's thinking that's a good idea and running with it myself. If it works, if it's good, it helps. It's cathartic if done right. So yeah. But that video's, I think, stuck on 40 or 50 views. Didn't really go anywhere. But then some of the earlier videos that I've said now that have hit 150 or 180, I think one of them hit. They were running slow. They got off to a slow start, and it was maybe 2 days after that when I didn't have any other videos out, that they picked up and started to run. It's funny how YouTube works sometimes. And then a lady in Torrevieja, a British lady who's got a couple of thousand followers, she discovered me and tweeted about me to people and brought me 3 or 4 new subscribers. That was good. If any of you guys are the new guys, welcome. Feel free to hit the like button. And after we finish, hit the share button. Tell everyone all about us. I got to get the plug in, guys. I've got to get the plug in and try and get the subscriber numbers moving. It's been another week of 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. I hit 310 at one point a couple of nights ago, and just as I was about to pat myself on the back and congratulate myself, I refreshed the screen and it's back down to 309. I don't know whether that means that someone who subscribed, I don't know if it was a misclick and they've unsubscribed straight away, or if it's just coincidence that one person subscribed just as somebody else unsubscribed. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it was fun. It's not, it's a kick in the teeth. I take joy in watching those numbers rise. It's like a video game. You're watching for the high score. And then it goes backwards. It's like the time that I hit 308 and then dropped back down to 303 within 3 days. Or over the course of 3 days. It's not fun. Okay, someone who's got access to the description, tell me another topic. Oh, the weather, the cold nights. I remembered. We've had a whole week of nights where it's been below 10 degrees down here. Until last night. Last night didn't. Although the forecast led me to believe it should have. So each night I've been preparing my hot water bottles. And it's not a coincidence, but probably because. So I've been using the one gas bottle for, well, since the first week in June, was it? When the guys brought me a barbecue, gas barbecue, and 2 bottles. I've been using that one bottle ever since the first week in June. So that's 5.5, almost 6 months. Is that right? I think that's right. And it suddenly ran out. Was it last night or the night before? Whichever. And that's because I've been coming out each night to boil water. 4 litres. And a 5th litre to make coffee. So I'll boil water and fill 2 litre pot bottles. Put them inside a cushion cover. Zip it up and put it in the bed. I'll then make 2. I've actually got 3 flasks, sort of. I've got 1 proper flask and these 2 bottles. They're not flasks. They're not vacuum sealed. They're insulated, but not overly. So once I've filled those with coffee, I put those in the Tina girl. Tina, hey, shush. I said shush. Come here and sit down. Come here and sit. Come here and sit. I'll give you a treat if you shush. I'll give you a treat if you shush. You gonna hop up? Yeah. No. I don't know if you saw that. It's our little party trick. Yeah, once I've made the coffee and it's in these 2 kind of these 2 flask bottles of things, I put those inside the cushion cover with the hot water bottles, and so they stay warm all night. I can dip in and take out a cup of coffee at any point in the night, or in the morning. Still warm in the morning. But sometimes I'm out here. If it goes well, if it runs smoothly, if the operation goes well, it's half an hour of having the cooker on, having the barbecue on. Sometimes it doesn't go quite as smoothly if I mess up the pouring or if my funnel breaks, because it's a homemade funnel. I think I showed it last week with the top third of a pop bottle, and then two pop bottle lids glued together back to back with a hole pushed through the middle. So I can screw it onto the bottle that I'm filling, so I don't have to balance the funnel over the top. Sometimes it doesn't go as perfectly as it should. It's been pretty good on the whole. So anyway, between a half an hour and 3/4 of an hour of having the gas on, and that's been, I think, every day this week. But I think that's me getting soft, because last year I didn't have anything like that. I was boiling water over an outside fire here, and I didn't start that until late January or early February. And I wasn't in a tent at that. Oh, I was under a tarp at that point. I beg your pardon. I misspoke. But yeah, that was fires. That was proper fires out in the open here, late at night, and it could take me 2 hours to boil 4 litres of water then, because I had to try and keep the fire on the down low. They don't like you setting outside fires in countryside in the middle of a drought. They're funny like that. Tina girl, what are you doing? So I think I'm going to experiment with not doing the hot water bottles for a few days, because I think I'm just turning into a bit of a pussy. I'm turning into a softie. And the gas I have got, because I've switched to this second bottle, obviously I want to make that last. I do have the means to go and replace the first bottle, and it is only at the top of the road here. But I got Christmas coming up, and I got to preserve what I've got in ready cash. I have to make it last, which is what Karen helped with today by bringing the dog food. Otherwise, I would have had to go and buy a big bag of dog food, or worse, I would have ended up buying small bags of dog food at twice the cost per kilogram. The poorer you are, the more expensive everything is. You know, when you've got the money and you can buy in bulk, that's when you make savings. That's when everything becomes cheaper. The world's kind of perverse that way. So yeah, thank you for that, Karen. Again, that saves me. Doesn't just save me the job of having to go to Mercadona and bring a bag back, but it saves me from getting ripped off. Tina, I don't think there's anybody there, darling. There's nobody there. I don't know what you're barking at. There's literally nobody there. My monster, my little monster. Oh, there's somebody coming the other way. Shush, shush. Quiet, quiet. Yeah, all good, thanks. Tina, friends, amigos. She's defending me. She's defending me from friendly people. Hey, babe, quiet. I love her, but she makes things difficult sometimes. Where was I? Sat in a field talking to myself. Feel free to dive in with questions, folks. Christmas. That's 1 month yesterday, isn't it? The 25th. Or you Europeans who do it on the 24th. Don't really understand you, but God bless you. Yeah, last year I actually had a tree. Would you believe? I had a Christmas tree. Didn't have a phone or a camera, so there's no record of it. I had a Christmas tree. I've got a big stick, it's like a big fence post. I stuck that in the ground and sat a teddy bear on top and put a Santa hat on the teddy bear. Had some decorations for the tree as well. But when it got to January, these were all retrieved from in, on and around bins. But when January came, I decided to throw it. I didn't see any value in keeping a Christmas tree for 12 months while living as a tramp in a field. Partly because I didn't expect to still be here. Kind of wish I'd kept it now. But failing a tree, I think some solar-powered Christmas lights would be a good idea, wouldn't they? You can still power things with solar in Spain, even in deepest, darkest midwinter. That's how I keep this phone going. I've shown you this in the past, yeah? Let's have a look. No, that didn't work. Take my click. There. There's solar panels there, just to the left of the yellow of the colander. That's my foldable solar panel, and over there on the wooden furniture behind the spoon and the hot chocolate is my other solar panel, facing the sun at this time of day. Each day I like to try and charge my phone up to 100% at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and also I've got a light in there that uses 3 AA batteries. I like to make sure that those 3 batteries are fully charged so that I can put a light on if I need it. And that light, it'll last 2 to 3 hours on full blast before, I think, the power of the batteries, the amperage or whatever, drops. And it no longer supports the full brightness. So that light then starts not flickering, but it steps up and down. Step down for a minute or two to a duller brightness, then step up for a minute or so. But that becomes annoying quickly. But I've got 8 of these batteries, so I can do 2. I can do 2 full sets if I need. So I can have 5 or 6 hours of light if I need it, but I never do. Maybe an hour just after dark, I'll have it on for an hour, then turn it off for an hour or 2. If I decide to have some kind of midnight snack, turn the light on for half an hour, and then turn it off again. And obviously anything rustling or moving or whatever in the night, lights back on. But it is really bright. If I turn that light on at night, the entire tent lights up and you can see silhouetted movement inside. So I don't really like to have it on too much. But also it takes, the batteries take quite a long time to charge. And as the days are getting shorter and the sun's getting duller and the skies are getting cloudier, yeah, said it right. It's becoming, there are occasional days where I don't have enough charge for everything. But it's only for another month, isn't it? Well, some say December 21st, others say December 23rd. The days start moving the other way and getting longer again. Although January and February the weather's typically worse, so you get more cloudy days. We'll weather it one way or another. We'll get through. We'll get through. But yeah, I'm definitely going to cut down on the hot water bottles. That's, I don't know. I don't know whether to go and replace this gas bottle now while I've got enough money to do it, or whether to hold off as long as possible in case I don't even need it. I don't know. What would you do? There's a question for you. Come on, let's get the chat going. What would you do? Would you go and get the gas now while I know I've got the money? Or would you hold off as long as possible in case you don't even need it? Thoughts? And I think I've left this on. Anybody can chat. You don't have to be a subscriber. So if you're just dropping in here, you can still chat. If you don't know how to chat, hit the little speech bubble underneath the player. And then you'll get a box where you can type away and you can see what other people are typing as well. Not that there's much to see. You're a quiet bunch. I haven't even got my glasses on, have I? Oh, there's a thing that happened this week. Gosh. I don't know if Harry and Jill are here. Sorry, folks. I broke your glasses. They bought me the lovely round glasses that are foldable. And the other day I had them in my pocket. I was washing my hair and washing some t-shirts. I had a good wash, washed my hair, and then washed some clothing. Didn't bang anything, didn't do anything, didn't fall over, nothing. But when I was finished, the glasses had come apart. And they'd come apart in such a way. These were foldable glasses. And what it is one of the hinges has kind of snapped a little bit. and it means I can push them back together and they will hold together. But when I try and put them on, because my head's a bit big, so the arms of the glass pull apart a little bit, there's a tendency for them to unhook again as I'm, oh, itchy nose, as I'm putting them, yeah. So as I'm putting them on, they unclip again. And I can just push them together again on my nose, but then I have to be careful how I move and, yeah, just a little bit awkward. So I've reverted back to one of the pairs that Anita's given me. They're kind of quite stylish for old lady glasses. Oh, Anita's not an old lady. The glasses are old lady-ish, not Anita. I'm putting my foot in it there, aren't I? Fuck. Karen just suggested I should go and see how much the gas is up at the Repsol. That's an idea. I'll have to take a photograph of the bottle to make sure that they're quoting like for like. I've seen different numbers quoted, between something like €13 and €25. But those quotes might be from people who don't know the specifics of the gas bottle. I do know that this stuff doesn't burn too well in cold weather. I think it gets worse. Well, is it any of you guys know, is it propane or butane that doesn't handle the cold well? I have noticed actually since switching over the bottles, there's not as much oomph in the flames when it's lit. I don't know. One of these is from Repsol and one's from Thespa. I don't know how you pronounce it. Probably Thespa with the lisp, with a Spanish lisp. But yeah, I'll go and find the price. That's a good idea. And I've got my well, do I need the trolley? It's only up the road. I could probably just carry it anyway. But I've got my Harry and Jill trolley, haven't I? So I could use that and the bungee cords. Just to trundle it up the road there. I'll put that on my list for this week. Specking it out and maybe buying. Apparently you can tell how full the bottle is by the weight, but I haven't got weight scales to tell. I know that this bottle I've just put on is noticeably heavier than the empty one. I mean, obviously it was going to be heavier. The question is how much heavier, and it does feel significantly heavier. But it is a different bottle as well, so that complicates matters maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And I'll never be able to take that and refill that one, because I've got no idea where the nearest Thespa garage is. And Repsol's just right here, isn't it? I mean, it's over the road. Other topics, guys. Other topics. What's on the list? I think there's a video I've missed and not talked about. I just can't remember what. More coffee and hot chocolate. Cup number 2 sat waiting. And because I make them cold, they can't go cold, can they? I will still carry on having warm ones at night, even if I don't do the hot water bottles. Guys, you've got to have some treats. Although Karen brought me a treat. Little bottle of vodka. Didn't notice, I didn't look. Is it a half bottle or a quarter bottle? I don't know, it's small. But I haven't had a drink for a few days, quite a few days. A week and a half? Don't know. didn't have any readies, didn't have the cash. Well, technically not true again. Not a deliberate lie, but I've got a load. Karen's mum, I think, technically, gave me a bunch of coins, loose change, ones, twos, and fives. But the last time I used some in Mercadona, they made a big performance out of it. They made a big drama. I gave them. They're actually in those plastic rolls, folks. You know, you get the roll that clips together, and you fill it up, and it's the right amount. So 50 lots of 5 cents for €2.50. And the thing was full, jam packed. I think I think I'd put an extra one in, just to just to make sure. You can squeeze one extra in. And the lass behind the counter was just clueless. Like I said to Karen earlier, if it was me and I was going to take them out, if I wasn't just going to take it on trust that that's a full bag and therefore is the right amount, if I was going to count them, I would count the first 10, put them down in a pile, take the rest and stack piles to the same height, knowing that they're all going to be 10 if they're exactly the same height. And this lass stood there and counted them. And made me wait, made a big queue of people kind of wait while she counted to 50. Even then, because I'd had some normal money, you know, I still had €1 and a 50 and some 20s and whatever. At the end, she told me that I'd not got the right amount. She couldn't add up the €2.50 and the rest of my money to come up with the right. I had the exact right amount. I knew how much everything I was buying cost. She told me I'd got it wrong, and I said, no, it's right. And she rechecked, and I think she just gave up. I'm not sure she actually added it up and confirmed that I was right. I think she just gave in. Young'uns, what can you do? What can you do? Do you know it's getting dark on me? The sun's still, it's still an inch above the horizon, but there's cloud. Thin cloud. See if I can show you. Filming into the sun doesn't always work. I can't even see the sun on the screen there. But yeah, lots of cloud. Thin, wispy stuff. Okay, guys. Somebody's going to have to tell me some items off my topics list down in the description. Under the video where it says the name of the channel and it says more. Oh. The BBC thought it was important enough to interrupt us with a news flash. Okay, guys, nobody's telling me any topics, so I must have covered everything. I might have mentioned I've got a birthday coming up on Wednesday. I'm going to do at least one birthday live stream, but it's entirely possible that to catch different people at different times of the day, I might do 2 or even 3 separate streams. Maybe a morning, an afternoon and an evening. The evening one, though, would be in the dark, probably. Unless I did it this kind of early afternoon, 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I don't know yet. I'll be winging it. But I was chatting with Karen earlier, and we got onto the topic of some childhood kind of memories. And I've got a few years on the clock. Like I said, I'll be 55. I am 55 to all intents and purposes. A lot's changed during my life. And I'm a bit of a technology kind of guy. So I thought I would mull over some of the changes in life, society and technology during my 55 orbits of the star that we call Sol. Did you know that? The sun's technically called Sol. There's only one solar system anywhere. All of the other star systems are just that. They're star systems, not solar systems. Ours is a solar system because our sun is called Sol. A lot of people don't know that. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Don't ask me why I know that. I just know that. The same way that I know that oil isn't from dinosaurs. It's not dead dinosaurs. I got a head full of all sorts of crap. All sorts of trivia. I used to do really well in pub quizzes. And then old age hit me. And I got to the point where I knew that I knew an answer, but I couldn't get the right word. So I'd be chatting with the rest of the team. I'd give them a direction to go in, and then they'd guess at some things, and I'd see if it would jog my memory. Yeah, things don't always they don't click into place as quickly as they used to. Can't find the right word sometimes. Or people's names. Fuck. Yeah. But I thought that's what I would base my my birthday streams around. The life and times of Delta Mike. Almost give my real name then, rather than this silly internet pseudonym. You do know it's a pseudonym, right? Nobody's called Delta. Anyway, folks, that's what I'm going to do. We're coming up on an hour. I figure we'll try and end it exactly on 1 hour. So we've got 20 seconds. So hopefully I will see you guys, and maybe some extra people this time, on Wednesday. I'll put out a couple of reminders the day before, and maybe early morning of the day itself. The channel isn't monetized. I've missed the 1 hour mark. Look, the channel isn't monetized, so there'll be no super chats or any of that YouTube goodness with that. But the PayPal account will be listed if anybody wants to wish me a happy birthday. I will try on the later stream, not in the morning ones or early afternoon, but on a later stream. Steve has just arrived. I'm just closing down, mate. I'm just finishing. I'm just leaving off. Sorry. You'll be able, as quick as I can get in. I'll YouTube make these private as soon as I finish them. I'll go in and I'll make it public. You'll be able to watch the playback pretty quickly afterwards. But you won't have the chat of there hasn't been any. The chat won't be available probably until tomorrow morning. But I'm just saying my birthday streams that I'm going to do on Wednesday. It's my birthday Wednesday. I'm going to try and make sure that I've still got some of my vodka left. And anybody sends me more than a £5, whatever denomination you're using, whether you're on dollars, euros, pounds, they're all more or less the same nowadays. Any donations via PayPal for more than a £5, and I'll take a shot of whatever drink I've got to hand. In the later stream, not a morning stream or an afternoon stream, early afternoon. Maybe late afternoon or evening I will. But we'll have a go at that and see if we can't have some fun. We'll reminisce about the past, and I'll answer any questions you've got. And you can try and get me drunk. That's always fun. Okay, folks. From Tina, let's see. Hey, girl. There she is. From Tina, and from me, Delta Mike, out.